The working stiffs have gone home, so you know what time it is. Way down here in the basement of Toon Crate headquarters, myself and good old Bob here are mining for underrated video games from days gone by. Speaking of which, it sounds like he just struck gold. What'd you find tonight, Bob? Sleeping dogs? I don't know about dogs, but this monkey won't be sleeping at all, because I'll be playing this game all night. When Sleeping Dogs was released, a lot of folks assumed it was just a Grand Theft Auto clone that takes place in China. But it's so much more than that. Between the martial arts, the gunplay, and the ever-growing cultural disparities surrounding migration, as well as the systematic oppression formed between the opposing forces of law and rebellious syndication, each laced with their own brand of righteous traditionalism and modernized corruption, it's a pretty great game. You play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop from America who's walking two different tightropes. One between his American values and Chinese heritage, and the other between his double life as an officer and triad gang member. It's sort of like Donnie Brasco or Goodfellas, but instead of infiltrating the Italian mob, you're trying to get in good with the Sun On Yi, which is this game's variation of the real-life Chinese mob, the Sun Yi On. The way the game depicts gang life is realistic in its approach, starting you out as a small-time errand boy and molding you into a hardened gold-collar criminal. Meanwhile, your life as a cop becomes more turbulent as your fellow law enforcers lose faith in you. Every misstep that Wei Shen makes on one side of the law drastically impacts the other, and as you move further into the story, you get the sense that the city streets are becoming more hostile. This keeps the game grounded in reality, even though the combat is an over-the-top John Woo-style head rush. While we're on the topic, the combat feels as if it's divided into three pieces: martial arts, shooting, and vehicle fights. Each feels completely different, yet satisfying in its own way. Fighting hand-to-hand provides a ton of options, ranging from crazy punch-kick combos to gruesome environmental hazards. Ugh, stuff's sick enough to make Mortal Kombat blush. While working as an officer, you can also arrest those you're fighting against, but that's kind of a cop-out. Huh? Shooting is frustratingly inaccurate, but the Matrix-style slowdown mechanic makes it bearable. When driving vehicles, you can ram them, shoot out their tires, or pull a Spider-Man and just yank them out of their car. So aside from in-depth triad antics and high-octane action, what else does this game got going on? Alright, so this is the part where I do have to compare this game to Grand Theft Auto. Hey, I'm sorry, but it's gotta be done.
That can't be done.
That's right, Glenn. It can't be done.
Grand Theft Auto usually allows you to date and interact with any number of girls, develop relationships, and get perks for doing it. Sleeping Dogs, on the other hand, is completely on rails when it comes to dating. You can only date a girl once, and then it's on to another one, whether you like it or not, just because the game wants you to think of Wei Shen as a womanizing ladies' man. On one hand, this is cool because you don't have to sit through a million boring dating missions just to get a perk, but it's also kinda lame because it takes control away from the player and you don't get to know the other characters as well. Overall, this game felt like a wholesome and highly addictive joyride, and to me, it seemed to sell pretty well. However, the reason why this is underrated is because the publisher itself thought that this game wasn't popular enough and considered the property a failure. The developers of Sleeping Dogs went under shortly after, so any chance of another installment or an update has been snuffed out. I place a lot of value on open world games with foreign characters and cultures, even more so when it comes to games that shed some light on lifestyles from the wrong side of the tracks. This karate chopping, head popping rush had both in spades, but it looks like the suits up top have let this Sleeping Dog lie. Luckily, you can still pick it up pretty much anywhere, since its failure to the company has made it crazy cheap. Be sure to get the definitive edition to get access to some awesome religious DLC that does the game even more justice. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go get hooked on this game for the next 48 hours, so this will have to be the end of today's Brad's Game Break.